logical, sensible thing to go to an A&E where you know where it is, where you know it's open, rather than take a chance on some of these other services that have been expensively put into place to try to get you to go somewhere else. And they've been trying for, what is it now, 25, 30 years, to make water flow uphill by forcing people to go somewhere it makes no sense to go, rather than go to the A&E that they know and they respect and they've got confidence in. If they've got those figures so seriously wrong, and they've got to revisit the plans, they should start here, right? Start with Ealing, start with Charing Cross, this whole nonsense of the shaping a healthier future, start with that. Let's come back and let's revisit it. And I'll tell you what, let's revisit the assumptions that were written into these plans by these management consultants who've been paid tens of millions of pounds to roll out nonsense, useless plans. Let's go and demand a refund from McKinsey and PricewaterhouseCoopers and all these other people, because they've been squandering money we could be spending on frontline patient care, and they've been advocating plans that undermined our local services rather than built them up. It's a scandal that these people are still now drawing down money to actually draw up plans that, you know, no self-respecting academic would sign off on. You know, just ridiculous, just ridiculous. McKinsey, you know, the classic management consultancy. You know, you bring in a management consultant, you ask him the time, he borrows your watch, tells you the time, charges you £1,000. But McKinsey borrow your watch and tell you the time wrong and charge you £1,000. NHS England's been forced to admit they haven't got the money, they haven't got the resources, nobody's got any serious plans. All they've got is plans for closures. They have no plans at all for the community services that are needed if they're going to actually genuinely replace any hospital care. So all you get is the cuts. What you don't get is the new services to take their place. And that's what we're facing in North West London, and that's what we're facing elsewhere around the country. We had 60,000 marched in London at 3 weeks' notice. We called it a short notice to respond to the developing crisis that was around us. We were intending to go a month later, and we brought it forward because we thought it was urgent to really make a point. Okay, 60,000, it made an impact around the world. We had appeals for photographs for the demonstration from Japan, right? They were covering it all over the world. Where weren't they covering it? On the BBC. Right? 55 other places, right across England and into Scotland, and into Belfast and Enniskillen in Northern Ireland, and into Wales as well. The first UK demonstration in favour of the NHS and the principles of the NHS and proper funding for our NHS that we've had for a long, long time. So I think this is really important, right? Because the reality is that although they put out various proposals, they put out various ideas, they don't really believe them themselves, and actually people don't believe them. The reality is everybody knows this government can find money when it wants to spend it, and it's decided not to spend it on the NHS. They can find money when they want to build HS2, which will benefit handfuls of wealthy business people trekking up and down to Birmingham. But bottomless pit of money for that, bottomless pit of money for all kinds of other enterprises they want to promote, but actually not the extra money that's needed for the NHS. Now this is scandalous. And money for a bailout for East Coast Main Line. East Coast Main Line, privatised, was making money as a nationalised industry, privatised, starts losing money, and hundreds of millions of pounds suddenly available to bail it out and keep Richard Branson in the style to which he wants to become accustomed. So we've got a government that is driving forward reactionary policies on all fronts, undermining the NHS on all fronts, undermining our welfare system with a tax on welfare, undermining all aspects of the NHS, not just the hospital services. Let's remember the mental health services are in desperate plight. Absolutely desperate plight. Let's look at the GP services, which are struggling to cope with the tide of demand that they've got and the problems recruiting. Let's look at the problems holding the staffing together in hospitals, the 40,000 nursing vacancies, 100,000 vacancies all around in the NHS. It's amazing we've still got an NHS at all. We're going into a 70th year which we're going to celebrate with a celebration and a protest on June the 30th in London. I hope you're all going to join us on that day. Yeah. We're going to have a march and we're going to have some entertainment and some music and stuff, and we're going to make it a really good event. June the 30th, the 70th anniversary of the NHS.